call. I appreciate that. And however, when we're doing these introduction calls, we always tend to have people trickle in throughout the first like 5-10 minutes of the call. So before like opening our call, officially, what we're going to do is we're going to share with you guys part of the priming process that we go through in our 10-week journey together. And what I mean by priming, through the experience of Think and Grow Rich and through the experience of our journey together in the Mastermind Life and this course that starts on May 6th, we will be identifying, taking inventory, not only of ourselves, but also of the things that we do, the habits that tend to make us who we are, the habits that tend to produce the results that we have in our lives. And part of taking inventory is not only identifying what those are, but also removing some and also adding some. Some of the things that we add are our self-confidence formulas. And I want to see if there's a volunteer that will do a self-confidence formula. We're going to do two, maybe one or two of them just for a few minutes so we can allow some people to trickle in. James, welcome to the call. Louisa, welcome to the call. David, welcome to the call. Diane Ferris, welcome to the call. So who would be, Molly, welcome to the call. Who would be that leader for me that is willing to do? Oh, Stacy Hart, I love it. Go girl. All right. Which one are you doing? There's 6 formulas. Which one are you doing for us?
I'll do number 1.
Number 1. Okay, go for it. Tell us.
I know that I have the ability to achieve the object of my definite purpose in life. Therefore, I will demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment. And I here and now promise to render such action.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for Stacy. Now, Stacy, I have a question for you while we're waiting here before we go to the next one. How often do you do those statements?
I do all 6 of them twice a day.
Twice a day. I love it. Will you do number 6 for me, Stacy?
Yes. I have signed my name to this formula. I've committed it to memory, and I repeat it aloud twice a day with full faith that it will gradually influence my thoughts and my actions into becoming a self-reliant and successful person.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for that. Awesome. All right, we got 1 more minute or so. Can somebody do a different formula for me? So you guys just heard number 1. We also heard number 6. Number 6 is really attractive for me because I believe that not only is it a declaration that you're making with the universe, but it is also a demand and a request. And I love that one because it says, I will sign my name to this formula and commit it to memory and repeat it out loud. Influence my thoughts and actions so that I may become a self-reliant and successful person. Will someone do a different formula for me? And then we'll get it started. Okay, Louis?
Oh,
which
ladies
one?
first. Go
Ladies
take it,
first.
Melissa.
Ladies first. Okay.
I realized, number 2, I realized the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person.
Wow. I love that. I love that. Tony, I just got your message about your brother. I'm sorry. I don't know if I did anything. Janine, can you message Tony? His brother's trying to log on, and I don't know if I maybe kicked him out of it. Miss Melissa, number 2 you just did for us is really powerful. You know, number 2 says that that I know that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually transform themselves into physical reality. Well, that's part of why we're here tonight, is because we want to start talking about who's driving the boat, who's deciding what thoughts become our dominating thoughts, especially in today's world, especially in today's economy, that everything is kind of like, in my belief, I'm a burner. They burn the city down as a representation of recreating all of it, as a representation of, hey, it doesn't matter what it looked like in the past. Now moving forward, this is what we're going to create it like. And I believe that's what we're doing right now. I believe that we're cocooning right now as individuals. And what better time to magnetize yourself? What better time to pull forth an opportunity like this? So my name is Aladdin Khazravan. Welcome to this call. Tonight we'll be sharing openly, it's an introduction call, one of our Wednesday night evening calls, which will be slightly different because we have guests on here. And what we do, who we are, and those kind of things. So our course is called the Mastermind Life. It is a 10-week course surrounded around the principles of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. As a group, we will get together, and the purpose of our mastermind for the 10 weeks that we are together is to do the book together. This is a big difference from reading the book. We are not here to read the book together. We are here to do the book together. And the reason why I say to do the book, in my personal experience, I've read this book 13 or 15 times. I've done the book with this group probably 6 times. And there is a world of difference when you are doing the book. And the reason why I say that is because Napoleon does a wonderful job. You'll be in chapter 5 or chapter 6. He'll tell you, go back to chapter 2 and look at the instructions I gave you about your evening. And then I want you to bring that back into chapter 6 and do this exercise with it. And that's part of the reason why we're doing it. Why we want to do the book together is because the entire book is, in my opinion, a roadmap that is really easily laid out in front of us. What Napoleon, if you're not familiar with the book, this book was written in the 20s and 30s, published in 1937. And it was published around the time when we had a Great Depression. And if you want to look at it, we're kind of in a similar scenario right now. Everybody's at home, industries disrupted, everything is different, jobs are being questioned, all of these things are different. And this book was released, it was done, carefully studied over 5, Napoleon Hill did, studied over 500 of the most successful forefathers of our country. I'm talking about Thomas Edison. I'm talking about Henry Ford. I'm talking about Andrew Carnegie. These are some really big names. I'm talking about the people that basically helped create the industry that we live and enjoy today as America or the world. And we get to implement these 13 principles into our own lives. But before we do that, we need to understand some really important things, which is the principle of masterminding, which is the principle of coming together with a group. Now, masterminding, brainstorming, this is nothing new in our world. However, there is a beautiful piece of masterminding that comes together when, in this book, Napoleon speaks about how when 2 or more minds come together in a place of harmony, this is a really big piece, a place of harmony, magic is then therefore available for everybody in the group. This means when 2 or more minds come together in a place of harmony, a third mind is created, and it allows us to tap into intuition. It allows us to tap into messages from our guides, our angels, and the people that look out for us, whether past, present, or future. And it gives us the ability of doing it for Willie on this call, for Tony on this call, for Melissa, just because we're in a place of harmony around this book. I want to hear from, we've got several people that have gone through the course, and some of them are on this call right now. I want to hear from a few of you. what does it mean to have a mastermind? How does it aid you? How does it aid you personally? How has it aided you? How has it helped you in the past to have a mastermind or to have a group of individuals directly related to the conversation of growth, prosperity, abundance, and possibilities? Somebody share with me.
Yeah, I'll share. Yeah,
Okay, we'll go to Louis first and then Tony after. Go ahead, Louis.
hi, you guys and gals. My name is Luis Feliz. I've been part of this mastermind for about, I think, 2.5 years, pretty much the whole 6 sessions that we've done so far. And one of my biggest testaments when it comes to the mastermind is that I was able to find a dream first that I had no idea was even there. No idea that I was able to publish a book. I never in my wildest dreams that I thought that I wanted to write a book or that I had even a story to tell. So I think it was on our 4th go around that tickle here that I able to dream and pick up from ideas from other people that I realized, oh, you know what? Hold on, I can write a book too. I got a story too. I can dream. I can write, and I've never written before. You know, English is my second language. You know, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to write a book. So it wasn't because the aid of this mastermind that I was able to publish my first book. I have another one coming up in Spanish. So yes, so to be able to have a group of people, you know, that are standing there for me, you know, it is tremendous because there's sometimes that as I'm pursuing my dreams that, you know, it's not always, you know, what is it called? Points and rainbows. You know, life happens. And man, there are times that I don't even want to get on the call. But guess what? I've committed to them and I show up and you know what? They serve me and they lift me up so much that it makes me think, you know what? I'm never leaving this group and I've never have. So to be able to have this, it's a blessing because I used to think that mastermind and groups like this were exclusive to people that are rich, the famous, that always hang out together. They're the ones that rule the world, the ones that sell businesses, start cities, build everything. But for us to be accessible for everybody is tremendous. So I'm a huge advocate for it. If you don't have a team, you need a team, whatever it is that you're doing in life, you need a team. If you consider the military, Navy SEALs, Special Forces, those guys are teams. Nobody goes solo. So this mastermind has been my team, been my special ops team for me, for my wife. Like we do a lot of things. We're involved in a lot of things. We have a physical therapy practice. I'm a freelance photographer, videographer. I travel doing photo shoots. You know, we have a 6-year-old daughter. I'm publishing a book. I do marketing, and my wife's involved in so many things, and we're both part of the mastermind. And we do it because we love it, and the group, it's become family. This is our place. This is home. We come here. Doesn't matter what's happening. We know on Mondays we have our call, you know, and also on Wednesdays. We know Mondays, man, it is about us. Like, what are we dreaming? What are we going to come up with? What's new? What's possible? You know, and it's tremendous. So that's my result. I'm done.
Beautiful. Thank you, Louis. Tony, before you go, Louis touched on a few things, and it's really, really powerful to have deliberately thought out groups of people. Now, think about this for a second, okay? If you're at home right now, I want you to take inventory for yourself right now, because you all have masterminds. You all have these groups. Our labels might be different. Like if I open my phone right now, I've got a group chat with 39 people, and it's my beloved family. Those are all my Middle Eastern, really loud people, okay? 39. That's one of my masterminds. I've got another mastermind, which is on WhatsApp, which is a sales channel conversation with all of my employees and my business partner for AM cards. I've got another group chat, which is this mastermind. I've got another group chat. Now I want you to take inventory of your chats, of your groups. And then I want you to look at them and ask yourself, did you deliberately put yourself in this group? Did you seek out these minds for those reasons? And what are the purposes of these groups? And who shows up in your life in that group for you? Meaning, this is what I mean. I know for sure that when I log into my group chat for my family, I've got full 100% defensive guards up for what could come up in this chat. Because I've got to protect not only my dreams, but I've also got to protect my mind about all the stuff that's happening about COVID-19 outside that they want to tell me about. I've got to protect my mind about all the negativity that could come my way. And then when it comes to these groups, do you have a group that is deliberately around the conversation of growing you or growing your business? Or is it just random groups that just random conversations get had? Because there's a really powerful impact in your life when you deliberately have a group for something, and then we call it masterminding. Tony, please share with us. How has this impacted you? What are you seeing? What are your experience? And Tony has been with us one cycle now. I think you've gone through part 1 with us.
Yep,
Who are you? Where are you?
Yeah, I went through part 1. Think and Grow Rich has been on my bookshelf for a number of years, and I've kind of picked it up, looked at it, put it back, and I've never really dived in depth into that book. But Curtis said, you need to join this class, you need to be a part of this. And I jumped in, and I was really quiet during the whole process because I was processing. But here's what it brought me. 1, I'm surrounded by a group of absolutely amazing, beautiful people who inspire me. They share ideas, they're supportive, they help you do what Aladdin just mentioned, keep all the junk out. So going through this course, here's what I can tell you. Had I not gone through this course at the time that I did, and it was perfect timing, and COVID had shown up, I think I would have been in a state of panic. But I have not been in a state of panic.
Beautiful.
Because I've taken the principles that I've learned, and I've taken what this group has showed me and made the way they've encouraged me to think, the book, and it's just been amazing. Now, I'll share something else with you that actually happened today. My wife is from a really small town called Jay, Maine, and there was a massive explosion there today, and the biggest industry in that town, and 2 of her siblings work there, and they were there. And when I heard the news and she's calling them to find out if they're okay, I had a complete peace. I wasn't panicked. I saw in my head, they're okay. Everything's going to be okay. And miraculously, the explosion happened when everybody was sent out for lunch. And I just had no fear. And I'm telling you, this mastermind brought me to that place. Here's the other thing, and I haven't shared this story yet, but in one of the last classes that I took, Aladdin said 3 times, I remember it so distinctly. He said 3 times one word, and that word was, sorry guys, caca. I woke up in the middle of the night dreaming about caca. And the picture that it painted for me was actually really beautiful. And it was this ground covered with caca and these roots from this majestic tree that was filled with love, gratitude, positivity, just growing and covering the ugliness. And that came as a result of this group. And then what happened from there, that morning I woke up with these amazing ideas, and they haven't stopped flowing, and I've been keeping an idea book. Some of them I've actually been applying in my business. It's just a beautiful thing, and this can bring you so much. Oh, and one more thing, I'm sorry, Aladdin, but one more thing. There are 3 individuals on this call tonight, Steve Quigley, Claire, and Sean Quigley. Those guys came into my life at the beginning of this journey, and they have the same vision, focus, and mindset, and they're perfect for this group. And again, these 3 individuals would not have shown up in my life had it not been for this course.
Beautifully said, Tony. Thank you for that share. Tony, you touched on a bunch of different things, and all of it's accurate. All of it's right on the money. And you said Steve and Sean showed up in your life, and around the beginning of this, I believe that everything you need for your perfect life, okay, for your perfect life, James or Claire, is right at your doorstep. However, you do not have the capabilities of being able to see it, to respond, or to capture it until you're ready for the thing. It's not that the thing you need, the opportunity, the right person, the right environment, any of that is not ready. All of it is ready. I mean, we've all heard the phrase, you know, it says like, when one is ready for the thing shows up, right? And that's, in my opinion, one of the things that we're doing here. This is basically a gym, a workout of your mind for the next 10 weeks so that you can begin, notice the word, begin the process of priming yourself to become the Sean that you want to become, to become the Steve that you want to become. Now, here's what I personally, in a nutshell, if I was in an elevator, you asked me, what's this about? Here's what I would tell you. I'd say, hey, in our mastermind, here's what happens. You and Napoleon will identify what treasure you want in life. What is it that is your target? Because it's way different than mine. You know, like, for example, me personally, I want to have a wealth of over $500 million for my own reasons. I want this wealth for the power. I want it for the abilities, for what I can do for mankind, for the children I can reach through our foundation, all of these things. There are people in our mastermind that want to lose 20 pounds and everywhere in between. So you will identify what it is that's your treasure for the remainder of your time here, because the clock is ticking, right? The book then becomes a map, and the people that you see on this screen or in your group, or the people that will not only share what they're doing, where they're going, how they're doing, become not only your Rolodex, but your cheerleaders and your biggest fans. And let me tell you why that's important. That's important for the same reasons Tony didn't panic when COVID-19 showed up or when that explosion happened, is because you know that every week you plug back in on Wednesday night, and whatever caca is around you from the outside world, from the news or from the family or the COVID-19 or the semis in New York taking out semi trucks with the bodies, whatever it is that is like tuning in and trying to influence your personal economy, your personal world. On Wednesday night, you plug in. And when you plug in, all we want to talk about is your greatness. We want to talk about how big your wings are, Linda, and what you're capable of doing, Marilyn. And what the world is waiting to see you bring it. Because when you become and identify, see, like for me, I know for me to have the wealth that I want, I have to change. I can't do the things I've done. I can't do the same things I've done expecting that I'm going to have the outcome of a man that's worth $500 million. That person, which, by the way, earlier today we did was it number 2? Self-confidence formula number 2. Can we mix it up? Can someone do it for me again? I want to emphasize the second part of self-confidence number 2. Who can do number 2 for us?
I did number 2.
Do it again for us.
I realized the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. Therefore, I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person.
Beautifully said. I love that. And let me tell you why this is so important. So if you identify, like for me, let's use me as an example. If I identified that the life I want to live, the target that I want to use, my definite chief aim in life, my purpose in life is that target, well, I need to start really thinking about what kind of habits does a man like that have? How does a man like that do the mornings? How does a man like that do his evenings? How does he raise? How does he handle stress? How does he handle obligations, commitments, finishing what I say I'm going to start, delivering more than I say I'm going to do? It's like, and really a big part of it, in my personal opinion, is how is it tied to bettering my brothers and sisters, my planet, or my animals? And I say my because I believe that it's ours. And to do truly great things on this planet, we need to be able to tie it to giving back. We need to be able to tie it to helping the planet or ourselves, not only, because it can't just be about us. I want to take some shares from you. What does it mean to be in a mastermind? Why are you attracted? And it could be anybody on this call. Why are you attracted to a group like this? What do you know of the book, Think and Grow Rich? This is a magical book. I haven't really talked about the foo-foo stuff around the book, but it is a really magical book. This book comes alive, y'all. I'm not playing with you. It's a really powerful book. Sean, you're shaking your head. Yes, I want to hear from you. Tell me, why is a mastermind important? Why is it important for you? Why this book? Why now? Let me hear from you.
Well, thank you for the invite, Tony and Steve. This is important to me because I feel like at where I'm at right now in my life, I'm just ready to explode, and I need something that it's going to bring me to that next level. And I've read Think and Grow Rich before, but I think what you were saying, Aladdin, about doing the book together is going to just open it up completely. So I'm jacked up out of my mind about it. I can't wait.
Beautiful, Sean. Yeah, you're in for a treat, buddy. You're in for a treat. Bob Proctor, I think Bob Proctor does a forward in one of these books, and he says, this book is not meant to be read like a novel. This book is meant to be done like a textbook with a group of people. And after you do, or after you read a chapter, you need to have discussions around the chapter, and that's how it becomes alive. Speaking of that, this is a perfect segment of telling you guys what's included, like what is expected of you, like what are you signing up for? It's all exciting and all. But okay, so let's talk about this. So it's a 10-week course. You will read 2 chapters a week at home by yourself, okay, or on audio, however you do it. We will have 1 discussion a week, which is on Wednesday nights. We start on time, we end on time. It's at 8, it ends at 9:15. In every one of those calls, you will have 1 of 7 facilitators teaching you the course. Now, we have 7 facilitators, 7 leadership. Some of them are on this call tonight. Lewis spoke earlier. He's part of leadership. Can you wave? We see you there. He is there. Part of leadership. Melissa Kehoe is there. Leadership. Willie is leadership. Myself, Amy, Laura, which is not on the call, is leadership, as well as Dr. Atta. And part of the reason why you have different facilitators is because not all y'all gonna like the way I speak. I'm just saying, they told me not everybody gonna like how I talk. Just kidding with you. But I have a very masculine approach on doing the things or saying or education or whatever. So I might tell you, so yes, go out and do it. Amy might facilitate and tell you to put on some music and dance. And so we want you to be able to, and that's part of the masterminding, right? We do everything by the book that Napoleon says to be able to implement and practice the philosophy of masterminding together. And part of those things is to be able to have discussions where Melissa leads it, or I lead it, or Lewis leads it. And those will happen on Wednesday night. You'll also have 2 buddy calls, which are really, really important, but we'll discuss those at a later time. Thank you, Sean, for your share and your brilliance. We're excited to have you. Hopefully you find all of the juice you need to get the things that you want. Now, that being said, there's no magic pill, Sean. I'm Aladdin, and I like to think I'm magical, but I can't do it over Zoom. Sorry, bro. You got to do the work. We will show you the steps that need to be taken. We're going to show you what needs to be printed, when you need to do it, how to take self-inventory, how often to do it, at what frequency, where to add it. We get to practice with each other so that we can kill the fears that Napoleon highlights, stop us from putting our names on the things that we want in the real world. We get to practice that together, and we get to do that work together. That being said, let me hear from somebody else. Why now? Why Think and Grow Rich? Why Mastermind? Why are you here? Who gets to go next?
Hello, can anyone hear me?
Awesome. James?
Sorry it took so long to actually log on, and the first 30 minutes, I couldn't even hear what you were saying.
Oh,
I have a very old computer, and as you can see, I just got on. So I missed everything you guys said.
well, you can listen to the recording and you'll be able to put the faces with the words later.
Okay.
So why now, James? Why Mastermind? Why this book?
Well, let me introduce myself a little bit. I'm friends with Luis. We were in the Coast Guard together. And I just contacted him the other day, and I was asking questions about your meeting. And he asked me, do you know the book Think and Grow Rich? And then I said to him, well, you mean this one right here? This happened yesterday. But I don't have the actual book. This is called a workbook.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if are you gentlemen and ladies working with this workbook, or you have your own workbook?
We got both. We've got both. But tell us, so why now in your life? Why is it important now, and why a mastermind?
Well, I actually looked into this 10 years ago, and I pursued it on my own, and other materials besides Napoleon Hill. I've had other materials from Tony Robbins and others, and I never really shared with anyone. I just kept it all to myself. And then I just never really practiced it. When I saw Lewis on Facebook just recently, I said, I really enjoyed when I did this a long time ago. It's about time I get back into it, because I felt so good, I felt so empowered, and I was accomplishing little goals I set. And then I kind of things change, we move, environment changes, and I just left it behind. So I'd like to get back into what I started 10 years ago.
Awesome. Thank you, James. And James, can I tell you, I believe that you can't do wrong with timing, meaning you weren't supposed to do it 10 years ago. You weren't ready for
by
it
myself.
10 years ago.
Yeah,
You're ready for it now. Like I've read parts of this book. I remember reading it several years ago, and I didn't understand what I was reading. The ending, the last couple of chapters gets really weird. And if you're not ready for it, you're just not ready for it. It's not ready for you. But thank you for being here now. Thanks for saying yes to yourself. And what better time to water your garden of your mind. So thank you for being here, James. Anybody else? Why Mastermind? Why Think and Grow Rich? Why now? Why for you? Anybody else? Janine?
Hey everyone, how are you?
Well,
Hey, so I had a couple things coming up, of course. I've been with the Mastermind since its foundation. There was a lot of things, and each semester there's something newly for me. Early on it was, what do I want? What do I want? What do I want? Tired of asking myself that question. I'm in my 40s, and I was like, I should know by now, but I didn't know. And suddenly it showed up in this book. This book was, and the communication around these chapters was a catalyst for me getting clear of what it was that I truly wanted. And I cannot tell you the relief in that moment, that freedom, that feeling of what I could, oh my goodness, now I get what my focus and my goals look like. Where am I going? Instead of frantically in every direction of whatever came up at the time. I get to align myself with those goals. The next thing was, well, what's stopping me? That comes up in a chapter. What is the underlying conversation in the back of my mind that I was taught whatever I was taught and I believed whatever I believed and that's the way I've been seeing it. Oh, sugar. That's the thing that's been where I've been stopped over and over again and why I keep reliving those patterns. And all of these steps as you go through the book, there really are, for me, they've been awakening moments. It's like, you know, peeling the onion back, you get to the next layer. And then the next chapter is the next layer. And Napoleon is right on. There is a gift in each of these chapters. And at the end, for me, I just feel very free. Last point is that what it is to have support in my life also changes everything, to be lifted up by others. You know, I'm full of creativity and brainstorming, and that's great. But when it's just me, I call it the ping pong ball, where the thought just keeps going back and forth in your head. And suddenly, when I have an opportunity with this group to share outwardly, what are these things that I have in mind? Now I've got, you know, Louisa and Linda and Marilyn, like all of your ideas on top of my ideas, and they expand and it grows. It's just amazing how organic these types of conversations are and what can come out of it when you're working with a team. I'm complete. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you, Janine. Thank you for your brilliance. Yeah, you know, we just recently released a testimonial video from one of our participants. Her name was Lisa. And Lisa is, if you haven't seen it, maybe you'll see it on Facebook. It was a great testimony. I loved it. And it really made me, I actually made a video with Amy yesterday, put it on Facebook around it, because it like triggered some stuff for me around, you know, like if you're on this call, if you're somehow attracted to this call or you're on the live, you're someone that works on themselves. You're someone that, whether you're in your own way working on yourself, you're growing yourself, whether you read books or you go to personal development seminars, or you probably are somebody that invests in yourself. And Lisa is a, you know, she mentions in her video, so it's okay for me to share, but she mentions she's got a coaching business. She also had a really good job that she's really happy with. And in her testimony, she mentioned, she's like, one of the biggest things she got out of it was she changed or got really clear, and she had a vision. Now think about this for a second, because you're probably this similar. You have a vision for your life. You have goals of some sort. You have an idea of where you're going. And she shared through the process, she recognized that for her and where she wanted to go, she completely changed her vision, because her vision in the past was all geared towards her job. And that's what society will brainwash you to believe. They want you to go work 40 years for 40 hours for 40% of your income. Caca is what I say. That's what I say. Caca, excuse me, Tony, but you did that. You planted those seeds. So Lisa, through this program, she mentioned that she changed her vision, and her vision not only got way bigger, but it really encompassed her dream, what she wanted to do with her life. And then she reverse engineered that for the next 5 years. And then for now, and what are the steps so that she can take to be on that path? Because let me tell you, TikTok, it's clicking for all of us. None of you, including me, will be finer or younger than we are today. And if not now, then when? And if you don't seek out intentionally and find a group that's deliberately working on their mindset, or standing guard, or creating habits and rituals that are designed to propel us and magnetize us towards the things that we want, then when are you going to do it, and how are you going to do it? So I want to invite you to join this mastermind. We start May 6th. The 10 weeks is going to go by anyway. If it were up to me, I'd charge 10 grand for it, guys. I promise you I would. But our leadership team loves our world, and we wanted to make this very easily for everybody. Napoleon Hill says Don't make it free. They won't show up. So we got to put a price tag on it. Okay. And 10,000 got ruled out. So the whopping course is $199. This includes your materials. This includes your journals. It includes your coaching. It includes one call a week, Wednesday nights for 75 minutes. It will include your buddy calls, and it will include access to our Facebook page, as well as to all of the leadership that's, and the mastermind, which, can I tell you something? We've had 4 books be born through the mastermind in a 10-week period of time. That, like, the books were birthed in that time period. 4 books so far. I think 2 or 3 career changes. I think, let's see, I started a new business. My business partner went through it. He had this massive goal of like $10 million is what he wanted to create in XYZ amount of time. He went through this course. I kid you not. You'll probably meet him one day. And he changed his goal to produce $1 million in 1 year. He changed it completely. He did 1.9 million the next year. Good job for him. Pat him on the back. He did the steps. He did the do. And I don't know what's possible. And there's some people that are trying to lose 10 pounds. The world is your oyster. I wanted to open it up to my leadership team. What am I forgetting to say? What needs to be said before we go? And then we'll leave a couple of minutes to open it up for anybody else. Leadership team, what am I forgetting?
I want to say thank you, Aladdin. Again, I listened to the recording last week, and I will share that they're all different, because this is, while we're incredibly structured around the 13 principles that Napoleon shares, and the processes and the protocols and what we do, to reach our statement of desire. You are a huge catalyst in bringing us all together, you and Miss Amy Laura, and now Aya, our little mascot. And I just want to say thank you for the intro calls. I don't have anyone on here tonight, but I have people coming in on next Wednesday, and you are a dynamo in the transformation that has happened the last couple of years. And I'm incredibly grateful for that. And I'm complete.
Thank you, Queen. I received you. Those wonderful, beautiful words.
Yeah.
Leadership.
Actually, I had a few things to add. One was, if you know anybody in your own circle, like Aladdin was saying, in your own chats, and you're like, you know what? I would love to mastermind with XYZ. Bring them over. Now, the same thing goes the other way. If there's some people out there, you're like, I don't want to mastermind with this person. Don't invite them. Don't invite them.
Please.
Okay. And yes, please, because this is about, empowering and encouraging each other. Because let me tell you, right now, even though I don't know all of you, like I know Amy, she has a gift. She has a vision, a dream that will never, ever, ever be seen before. In the history of the universe, will never happen again. Same thing with Linda. Same thing with James, Louisa, Linda, David, Sean, Diane, all of you guys. You have something so unique that will never be seen before. And unless you have a team that can support you, bring that to life, it is a disservice to the world. And I'm going to leave you with a quote that's not mine, from Les Brown. The graveyard is the richest place on earth, because it is here that you will find all the hopes and dreams that were never fulfilled, the books that were never written, the songs that were never sung, the inventions that were never shared, the cures that were never discovered, all because someone was too afraid. And I will add, because they did not have a team.
Yeah.
I'll leave you with that. So if you have people that you want to, play, just bring them over, because guess what? The world's a better place when your dreams are coming true. Hands down. The only reason why the world's the way it is because people are fearful and their dreams are not coming true. So they're just living just in scarcity, regret, and just down and out. But once your dreams start coming true, the world changes. It changes. So I'm excited to see the world changing with you guys with Mastermind and see what you guys can come up with. And that's all I had to add.
Beautiful. Thank you. Louis, anybody else? Leadership, do I have anything that needs to be said that we're not saying I forgot to say? Okay. That being said, listen, team, before you leave, we want to connect with you to tap you on the butt to get you to join, go on the site and register and secure your seat. Okay. You can do it a couple of ways. You can, in the comments, write your email or your phone number, or just go to the website and register if you want to go through the program with us. We would love to secure your seats. Okay. We have a 70 seats. Once the seats are filled, doors are closed. May 6th, the doors will close. The seats will be filled. So don't wait till last minute.
I'm gonna interrupt you and say next Wednesday, because as part of the course, we gift you with the book. And that's going to take some time to get to you, especially during what's going on in the world and delivery schedule. So I would request that if you choose to move forward, awesome, the sooner the better, get all logged up, go right to the website.
Right.
Thank you.
Part 1, if you're going through part 1, it's $199. If you ain't got the money, that's the #1 reason why you should join. And we will help you. We have a payment plan to get you to go through it so that you can win either way. If you have the desire to grow, we want you to be here. If you have people in your homes that you want to share this dialogue with around being able to express these kind of communications, maybe it's good for them to join. If they are a naysayer, please don't invite them in here. I don't want to be the one that tells them this is the wrong space, okay? Either way, we love you. You're awesome. You're awesome. Thank you for being here. I didn't say hi to my friend David all the way in California. David, you're awesome. You're a great dad. Tony, thank you for being here. Molly, you're amazing. I love you. I can't wait to see you next round. David, Amy, Marilyn, Linda, James, you're awesome. Louisa, you're awesome. Sean, you're awesome. Willie M, you're awesome. Claire, you're awesome. You can leave. The call's over. I love you. Do you have any questions? Anybody have anything they want to say? No? Molly, you're awesome. We love you. Have a beautiful evening. Tony, you're awesome. Thank you. Stay safe out there. Wash your hands. Steve, you're awesome.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Aladdin.
Linda, you're awesome. Oh, we love you.
Take care, guys and gals. Have a good one.
Take
Love
care, you guys.
Lizzie,
Bye.
you're awesome. Lizzie, I see you. You're awesome. Lizzie Parker, Stacy Hart, you're awesome. Linda, you're awesome. Willie, you're awesome. Louie, you're awesome. Claire, you're awesome. Great smile, Claire.
James, you're persistent. Good man.
Yes, I chat.
What-
I just text everyone website. Check out the
Got
website,
Missing
Thank
money.
you.
missymoney.com. I found $100 from 20 years ago. I got $100 back.
I'll
Start
check
the
it out.
flow. Start the flow.
Okay, check out that website. You might find some money.
All right. Have